Welcome back. Now, yesterday, CEOs from Ghana's biggest companies met in Accra at the CEO Summit to discuss how to navigate problems affecting business growth in the country. Now, what topped the discussions was cyber security. Experts at the summit preached a move from cybersecurity to cyber resilience in a bid to get companies to be safe as they go digital with their businesses. Now, joining us in the studio right now is Dr. Bright Mawudo. He's the head of Managed Security Services at Dimension Data. He delivered a presentation at the summit. Dr. Mawudo, is nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Right, so cybersecurity.
Yes.
Now you're preaching cyber resilience.
Yes.
Talk to us about why this is important and why this should be the next focus for any business.
Right now we have a situation whereby we have everything is digital. We are moving from cybersecurity to cyber resilience. Why? Because we have been focusing on protection of our digital systems and infrastructures. However, we need to start thinking about what could possibly happen to this digital infrastructure and how do we recover quickly. Because the amount of time that you spend trying to recover quickly will be the difference between you sustaining your business and actually getting online. So we are trying to, so resilience is being able to identify, protect, recover, respond, and be able to protect your infrastructure. So that's where we're moving to. We've been focusing too much on firefighting. We need to start focusing on how do we even try to remediate these processes before they happen to us again.
Now, every time we talk about things like cybersecurity,
Yes.
Many are led to the conclusion that it's a specialist area. I mean, you hire someone who knows about it to deal with it.
Yes.
I'm not a lawyer. I can't possibly start to deal with my company's own legal framework. I'll bring in a lawyer or an accountant where necessary.
Yes.
People think about cybersecurity in the same way, but your submission is that everyone should be interested in the detail of it.
Every single person. Now, these days, you need to get people or cyber experts on the board level, not just senior management, on the board level to be able to drive the conversation as to how do we get to let everybody be part of the conversation. We have been letting this to be the technical person's job, but no. So the senior management has to be part of it. The board level has to be part of it. They need to understand what are the risks, what are the assets of greatest risk that we have, and where are we standing actually when it comes to cybersecurity. So it's a conversation that needs to involve every single person, not just technical people in the organization as it used to be, or it's being outsourced. I mean, I like it being outsourced, but they have to be able to interpret or even understand the basics of what cyber resilience really is. Otherwise, you'll be sitting in darks trying to figure out how things are working. Yeah.
So we're now moving from compliance-based security to risk-based security. Explain that move.
Everybody right now wants to follow regulatory processes. That is great. It used to be the thing of, I have to do security assessment this year and produce a report. I have to do some sort of audit, produce a report. So you're following guidelines which are okay. But we need to start moving what you call risk-based approach, where you want to know what's your risk appetite, what is the risk profile, what am I trying to protect, before you even know how much money you're going to spend. Otherwise, you'll be answering the questions to the CFO every time. You're always bringing in new product, new services. You want to buy firewall today, tomorrow you want to buy firewall 2, firewall 3. Where is the money going to? You know, so you also don't want to spend too much on things that you don't understand. That's why we say we have to do what you call a risk profiling, know your risk appetite, know what to call the mean time to remediation, and then from there, even know what to call the cost to what exactly you want to actually focus on. So this year, focus on these elements. Next year, focus on that element, but still be able to be resilient. You see where I'm coming from? So we're not firefighting every day. We are trying to make sure that we have things streamlined down. We have exactly what we're supposed to do to make sure that we're actually safe.
Dr. Mawudo, what's the future of cyber resilience here in Ghana?
We still have a long way to go. I feel like there's a lot of conversations about cyber resilience or cybersecurity as most people look at it, but we need to start making sure that we are actually implementing this. I'm happy to see the government being heavily involved, especially from the financial sector. However, we need to start looking at other sectors, which is health, for example, where they're having customer data. everything is data-based. Everything has to involve some sort of data. Who is actually thinking of how to actually keep those data safe? For a patient, for example, everything's going digital. We're looking at the fintechs and the likes. We need to start making sure that everybody is actually involved. There's more dialogue, more conversation, more awareness to every single person to make sure that they're all involved in this kind of drive conversation. We're looking at connectivity, which is, we've been looking at 3G, 4G, now 5G is actually becoming a big thing. And very soon, 5G coming to Ghana is going to make things faster. That gives cyber criminals more leverage to be able to do things faster. So we need to start also having conversations. Everybody needs to be aware and know the risks that are involved. How can they be compliant? How can they know their risk appetite, like I said before, and make sure they have ways to be able to mitigate some of these things before they happen. Yes.
In the US, there was a big cyber attack that has led to fuel shortages.
Yes.
Sometimes you sit in this part of the world and think, well, if that could happen to the US.
That is true.
Then is there even any point of us, trying to secure our, cyberspace? The US couldn't do it. What hope do we have?
One fact we need to come up with, or we need to be aware of, is that we can't stop everything. That is why you need to make sure that you get to a level of security that makes sure that you are a little bit safe. So don't just stay sitting ducks thinking you can't be hacked. You will be hacked someday. It's a matter of when. So, like I said, nobody ever thinks they'll be a victim of a cyber attack until it happens to them. Look at it, the easiest way people have been hacked this way, which is what we call the ransomware. Ransomware is what happened to the United States, and they lock their systems, asking them to pay for it. And it can happen to anybody. It's happening to people, they're just not talking about it, to be honest with you. So it's coming through various basic things such as emails. It's because somebody is not aware, they don't know what tools to buy, they don't know what system to implement, or they haven't even trained their employees on these basic things. So they click on anything and everything. So we are all going to be a victim. We are already victims. And even you right now, if I was to get my laptop right now, I can send an email from you to somebody else. It will come as true. And it's very easy to do. It's not that difficult. I can do that in 10 seconds. And that is a thing that, do people know that it can happen? So we need to start making sure that that awareness is there from the top all the way to the general user in the organization. Needs to be trained, needs to be aware that these things can happen, can be actually see it happening and be able to make sure that they change their ways and culture. It's a culture change to take some time, just the way we never all used to use landlines, now we're using mobile phones. It's the same way we need to start changing our mindset to be always security aware and knowing that we can always report exactly what we are seeing when we see something happening.
Dr. Maudo, thanks for educating us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Scaring us a little bit as well. We need it. Dr. Bright Maudo is the head of Managed Security Services at Dimension Data. He delivered a presentation at the Ghana CEO Summit.